All right, a few years ago, I did a video on hot dip galvanized versus vinegar, or something like that. Vinegar for removal of galvanized. I think I did it in 2 parts, and it wasn't that conclusive. I'm not sure. That was over my shoulder. I'm not looking back. Anyway, I'm going to try to answer any questions that was posed on the comment block on that video in this video. So what we're doing is using common household stuff. You know, you can buy it at Home Depot, whatever. This is the product. 30% is cleaning vinegar. It says concentrate. I don't know what concentrate is, how it's concentrated. 30% vinegar, or acid, whatever, I don't know. I have some containers here that you might have at your house. You play enough pong. I have these. These are hot dip galvanized nuts. I don't know what that blue stuff is on there, but got a few of those. I have a piece of mill scale and rust and slag plate. We're gonna see what happens with that. I have an old copper bracelet that's stained and whatever. We're gonna see what happens with that. I have a black oxide Tractor Supply. I think it's not oxide, but anyway, we're gonna see if this bolt coating will come off with it. It's back to bare metal, and should solve it. We're gonna take the oxide bolt, put a little bit of vinegar in here. About half full. And let it sit. We'll let the threads, no, we'll let the head go down. Take one single piece of hot dip galvanized. Just to cover it, we're going to take a few pieces that are stacked, no particular order. We're going to cover the stack. Take the mill scale. Mill scale, slag, rust. Drop it in. And finally, the piece of copper. We're going to collapse that a little bit so we don't use as much vinegar. Set it down in the bottom. There you go. Oof. Back over here. One single hot dip galvanized, one stacked. I'll turn you around and show you the levels and how they landed in the cups or whatever, and We'll come back in 24 hours and check it. Okay, here is the, it's already doing something in there. In just a moment, the stacked hot dip. Here's the single hot dip. Doesn't look really too active. Here's the bolt. Here's a piece of mill scale and rust and some slag. And here's the piece of copper. As you can see down in there, there's the level of the vinegar is right there. That one's there. That one's there. That one's there. That one's there. Look at it. All right, so there they are. And we'll have a look tomorrow and see what happens. We may have to come back a following day. I'm not sure. We're going to find out. This is what I said. We'll make this one conclusive. All right. So, in case you were wondering, what happens with aluminum? We got something for you too. I have a piece of short piece of pipe. A little piece of square tubing. Put that in there. And we'll cover it. Put it out there with the rest of them. All right. Like I said, using this this brand, I'm guessing any vinegar probably would work. That's what I had. Is $6, $8, $10 a gallon. You make up your own mind. All right, here we go. Here's the reveal. We had a late entry, a couple minutes late with the aluminum parts, the stacked hot dip galvanized nuts, the single nut, the oxide coated bolt, the mill scale rust slag plate, and the copper bracelet. Turn you around, take each piece out, and show you the results. Okay, we're gonna start with the single hot dip nuts. Looking down in there, it doesn't look like a whole lot of change. This is the nut. Everything's gone. All the blue coating, everything's down bare metal. Threads look pretty good. It was in there. The vinegar looks clear actually. It's just a little bit of sediment down in the bottom. I'll put it back in there, leave it for a second later. The stacked parts. Pretty much the same result. Down to bare metal. It's clean, slick, pretty. The threads look clean. All the hot dips removed. Each one of them. I'm gonna lay them on the board. Let you see. The coated bolt, I guess it was oxide coated, it may have been paint. It turned black. On the end that was sticking out of the vinegar, It's got this weird crust on there. With a rag. With a rag cleaning it up. Just went back to black. Bare metal. Everything's gone. The coating was gone. It was a green color, if you remember. Back in the barrel. I'll show you all these tops. I'll shoot you down in there and show you what it looks like. This one was interesting. This one is the rust and meal scale. Wipe it off. And it's down clean metal. Even the slag fell off the end of it, because remember it had raggedy torch cut on it. This end, very strong vinegar smell. This end was sticking up. It was only into here as far as the vinegar goes. But you can see the line worked pretty good. I'm gonna turn it over and drop it back in. Next one was the old copper bracelet. Interesting. This is it. That's 30% vinegar. Now, in these little holes, that's where some magnets come in. I rolled this bracelet back around backwards on itself. But it gave it a nice, it's back down to pure copper. Like I said, it didn't get in there. I guess a wire brush would probably remove anything that's in those little holes there. That's copper. Late entry, a couple minutes late, was the aluminum. Doesn't really look like it changed it a lot. It is clean. I think all the anodize may be gone off of it. I'm not sure. And there's the little piece of pipe. I'll flip you around and give you a view down into all these cups. Okay, we'll go with the aluminum. Vinegar is kind of clear. You saw the aluminum parts, I just dropped them back in. Just stacked nuts in this hot dip cup. It left a residue around on top of the cup there, you can see that. There's the nuts down in the bottom. This one was the single. Vinegar is not really stained, it's got a lot of dribble sediment down in the bottom. The bolt is kind of a wheat tea stain. The bolt in there, I may just roll it around and drop it in there. Then there's the plate. Vinegar is heavy stained, and I flip that plate over. And then the copper bracelet, there it is. So that's the results. All right, that's the verdict. Put my bracelet back into use and let it turn back black. 24 hours, actually. I came out, I put those in at 9 a.m. yesterday morning in the vinegar. And then about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I went out there and picked the plate out with the rust on it and wiped it off. It was bare metal at that time. The nuts, I didn't mess with those. I just pulled that one piece of plate out. So I'm guessing it was working. It had already done what it was going to do. Depending on your size of part, it's going to depend on the container and how much vinegar you need. You need to cover it. And the ones that had a bunch of nuts in the cup, it started bubbling almost instantly. There was a little ring of foam around the top. So yeah, at 9 o'clock this morning, everything was probably as good as it's going to get. So there's your proof. Proof's in the pudding. 30% Harris vinegar from, I think we got it at Home Depot. I may try it with some standard cleaning vinegar. I got some of that, and we'll see what happens. But I read all my comments, and I read comments off videos put out 4 years ago, and I try to reply to them all. At the time you watch this video, I don't know when. Hopefully I'll still be around, and I'll at least I look at them all. I give them a thumbs up. I try to answer any questions, and I thank you for your time for watching. And that's it. I hope this answered the questions. If it didn't, post them in the comment block. That's all I can say. And you know, ask me questions. Hey, I'm here to learn too. You're here to learn. Maybe this works out for you. I started that vinegar test back when I was doing a lot more blacksmith type stuff and just for S&G. So, like, share, subscribe, comment. This is Mo Damon. Tire Creek Iron Works out.